Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of Flesh Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing all right. I played the new AEW video game, and it's been decent. But as we've talked outside of the show, sorry to go into this story here.
Sure.
But as we kind of talked outside of this, the customizations in the game are very, very, very limited. As a matter of fact, it's the first time in a video game since I can remember that for the audio commentary, it didn't have my first name, which I know Greg is kind of...
Welcome to the freaking club!
Yeah, right? So
believe me, I know.
Yeah, I bet.
You get half these Japanese names on there, but you can't get Greg. What the heck?
I know, right? So I had to figure out a new one, and I was like, what am I going to do here? So I stumbled upon the first and last name of Dick Potato. And I probably laughed for a good 20 minutes every time I heard Dick Potato. And in which, Google it. It's you'll get some interesting results. But yeah, had a good time with that.
Well, all right. It's all about enjoying yourself, so that's fantastic. Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, Flesh Wound producer Todd. How you doing, Todd?
I'm chilling.
Did you happen to catch the sneak preview of Gran Turismo over the weekend?
One of the many 12?
Yeah, right?
I did not.
Okay. For those unaware, by the time this episode airs, this will be Gran Turismo would have aired or been released by this time.
I didn't even know. They've already pushed it once.
True. I mean, we talked about video games with Greg, and not necessarily a video game movie, but kind of a video game movie. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this week, that's enough stupidity. But it isn't stupidity we're talking about. It's dumb idity, or you might just call it Dumb and Dumber. Released on December 16th, 1994. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
I do. You could ask me to roll it?
Oh, God, jeez. Good. We just... I think moving forward, I'm just...
What are we going to do? I got an idea.
Available.
Go! Faster!
Dumb, a person lacking mental power.
What's her last name? I'll look it up.
Starts with an S. Slappy. No.
Swappy. Nah. Maybe it's on the briefcase. Look on the...
Oh, yeah! It's right here. Samsonite. I was way off.
Idiot, an adult mentally inferior to a child of 3.
Skis, huh?
That's right.
The yours?
Uh-huh.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Cool.
Stupid, a person below normal intelligence.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
If they each had half a brain, they'd still only have half a brain.
Oh, look, Frost.
Jim Carrey.
Hold that plane! Sir, you can't go in there. It's okay. I'm the limo driver.
Jeff Dainiels.
Oh, geez, look at the butt on that.
Yeah. You must work out.
Dumb and Dumber. For these guys, every day is a no-brainer.
That was the trailer for Dumb and Dumber, released on December 16th, 1994. The version that we will be discussing tonight will be the unrated version, which has a runtime of 1 hour and 53 minutes, while the PG-13 theatrical release only had a runtime of 1 hour 47. It's only a 6-minute difference there. I'd seen this movie enough times to spot where the additional 6 minutes came from, which is kind of funny. But back to these initial thoughts. It was a massive release when this came out. Again, I'm sorry, just to continue off, directed by Bobby and Peter Farrelly, written by the Farrelly brothers and Bennett Yellen, starring Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels. Back to the initial thoughts. It was a pretty big deal when this movie came out. Even my mom liked this movie, and it's hard. Like, she hates like stupid movies, but she loves this one. I think primarily just because Jim Carrey and Robin Williams were the two kind of actors who that could be comedy, but because they play it so true and so real and so seriously that you actually buy them, and you don't just see somebody playing a character, you're willing to get on board and lose yourself in it. But yeah, huge deal when this came out. Greg?
Yeah, this is one that, I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen this. I don't know how many times I've caught it on TV and just had to finish it. I don't know how many times I've seen this in a Disney break room. Yeah, this movie has been repeatedly watched, always fantastic. I found out it was the first time my wife's seen it from beginning to end. She's caught it on TV in bits and pieces. So it was fun to go through it. And like, she even made a comment of how many like classic lines and moments that this movie has that got repeated over and over and over again, so yeah, this one's always been in the Mount Rushmore of comedy films, and it was really good to go back.
I hear you 100%. Todd? Uh-oh. When there's a pause with Todd, you know it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I remember this being a big deal when it came out. Jim Carrey was like at his peak. Loved it. Funny movie. This time I had a hard time the first half. I kind of self-medicated and took care of the problem for the second half. But some of the humor, it just wasn't hitting for me at the first half. It was a little too dumb for me this time.
Well, it's hard kind of when you know the punchline, know. That's always a difficult
it was just frustrating me because I have a certain co-host that would make the perfect third for these two, so I just wanted to strangle both of them.
Well, I can tell you that the host you're referring to would never say broth when referring or trying to say the word both. So there's that. But anyhow, I kind of could relate the first 15 minutes for me after the opening credits. Yeah, the punchlines, and they're the type of jokes where they can get tiresome, but I think that was intended to be front loaded because everything else afterward is fantastic. It's one of those where, so often where you have a comedy where everything's front loaded in the first like 30, 45 minutes, and then everything just kind of, finishes telling the story. This had kind of a story that allowed hilarity to ensue and get to a peak rather than start at a high point and then slope downward and calm down towards the end. And everything leading up to the bedroom scene, that's hilarious, right? Especially, you're an hour and 15 minutes in the movie when you're hearing, so you're telling me there's a chance, which never gets old. Every time you see him deliver it, other people saying it, maybe, but with him delivering it in that way, like, it never gets old. Going on to these favorite moments, of course, there's so much to choose from, but what I was trying to look for was potentially new moments or moments that weren't really automatic or that I didn't know off the top of my head, like, or even heard these lines.
Something that just stuck out for you this time.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And I wanted to specifically point out two things that happened at the truck stop. First, they were looking through the jukebox, and then you hear one of them say, "Oh, they got the Monkees. They were a huge inspiration for the Beatles." And then I noticed one of the truckers' hats had a lot of writing on them, right?
Yes.
And
that's
I
my
paused
first
it.
note.
Oh, okay. Then I'll let you take that then.
No, I got two other things.
All right, great. I paused it just to read what the hat said, and it said, "Happiness is seeing your mother-in-law's picture on a milk carton."
I have a different hat.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think I know which hat you're talking about, Tom.
Sure, but that was a lot easier to catch because you'd seen his character multiple times and it was 3 lines. But I'm talking about the guy who was sitting across from him in that scene when they go over to apologize for what had happened and offer them a round of beers. It was the individual who's closer to the camera who has the hat that's saying "Happiness is seeing your mother-in-law's picture on a milk carton," which cracked me up when I paused and read that. Greg, you got a favorite moment you want, or one of a favorite moment you want to discuss?
I think I'll do one that, like you said, popped out a little different because we all know the Mockingbird song, and I always stopped at the beginning of that joke, but I forgot when they picked up a few extra people. It was Mock. See, I died. Oh, that was so good. I forgot about that moment.
Todd?
Tell her I'm rich, I'm good looking, I have a rapist wit.
Right, yes.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I have another one too, but
I think we probably all have it, but I did have the Mockingbird scene there. That was combined with, for some reason, as I was watching this, when they started playing tag in the car, the dude in between them, I lost it when they did their like no triple stamp, or you can't triple stamp, and he does the the la la la. You guys know.
Since
But
I experienced
carrying into the let's put on the radio or whatever. I'm sorry, what?
I was gonna say, since I've experienced Dan and Luigi at the same time, this movie's hard. It's kind of traumatic.
And before I'll kick it to you guys if you want to throw in a second favorite moment, but this was one that I had not caught before when Lauren Holly and Jeff Daniels were on the ski lift and something's bothering her. And, "Oh, it's family problems. I don't want to bore you." His response is, "Thanks.
Thank you." That was my other one.
All right. Well, Greg.
Just the delivery,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, one of the great moments is at the end when they're leaving and a bus
Still makes me
pulls out,
mad.
and you think, okay, they're gonna have this moment finally, and they're gonna catch on. No, and then it repeats the joke again and takes it another way. And I was like, way to never give him anything. Or, sorry, then there's also a current affair. I have to throw that one in there because that was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Now, when it gets to the unrated scenes, not really a whole lot of, I think, major things that were really different. I'd probably still go with the rated version if I had to choose, because there were some scenes that dragged on just a tad long, but nothing that really impacted the overall rating of the movie by any means.
Right.
But there was just some, especially there were some jokes that didn't age well. Sorry?
I was gonna say, I figured it wasn't a first time watch. It was appropriate for the unrated one. I knew none of us were first timers to this.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this this particular version one time before, but I've seen the rated version tons and tons of times. One of the ones I had recorded on VHS and seen over and over again. So I'd probably still roll with the PG-13 version or the rated version if I had a chance. Things tend to move a little bit quicker, and I guess you could say it's a little bit cleaner. And I don't mean like cleaner as in tighter. Yes, exactly.
Right.
But still, this version or the rated version still gets a 5, just because it you have the characters that play these guys so well, so true, that when they're serious about being stupid and idiotic and dumb, it just makes it so much better. And a very short list of people, if any, in these roles would not have worked at all, and we'd be talking about it 2 years from now instead of right now, probably.
Right.
Which is why
So-
no one talks about the prequel,
There you go.
and they
Except
barely
for-
talk about the sequel.
Correct. But in terms of this one, it's no shock that I thought it was going to be a 5 going in, and it's valid. Now I'm getting dumb.
I don't need
I
3.
validified the rating that I thought I was going to give it, and do agree with it. So it is going to be a 5 from me. Greg?
Yeah, no, like you were talking about, the everyone in it was fantastic. Even supporting roles were fantastic. The villains were great. Even the guy standing outside the phone booth getting annoyed was committed to his part. Like, there were so many great moments and performers in this film that I have to give it an E. So
Yeah. Todd?
3.5.
whoa.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm telling you, the first half, it just didn't work for me this time.
The first half.
Yeah.
Like I understood like the first like 10, 15 minutes, but
No, but
Yeah.
no, it didn't get me till we got to the party. Is when when he was
Interesting.
wearing a very spiffy suit, very similar to someone one of our hostess yeah, no, and I don't know if it was just that day or what, but yeah, it wasn't working for me.
I think you might be in a bad mood, or you might have been in a bad mood.
It was too dumb for me.
Hmm.
Okay,
Telling
I
you,
believe
it's I'm getting flashbacks. It's
And on that day, his beard got a little bit grayer.
Well,
All
I mean,
right,
I
well,
don't hate it. It's just not what I'm gonna watch on my own for a long time.
I hear you. I understand. Well, if you are interested in watching this film, it is available to stream on Max as of August 13th. So you can check that out. And of course, you can check out the Blu-ray available wherever you can purchase or would like to purchase Blu-ray. And of course, available digitally wherever you get those fancy files. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have anything else before we head out for the evening?
No?
Oh, should we do the sequel?
And the prequel.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to get killed on the freeway within the next 10 years. So if I'm still alive, let's go for it.
Oh,
Just
just set
because-
our alarms for 10 years from now.
You know, you say that now, but then a decade's going to come around. We're going to be like, well, looks like we got to review the sequel. So
don't
stay
worry.
tuned for the Flesh Wound Farce in 2033 for Dumb and Dumber 2.
But at least you got Meatballs 3 to look forward to next year.
Oh, God. All right. Now, before we head out for the evening, just a couple of quick notes that if you are in the area of Orange County, California, and would like to check out Trivia with me, you can check that out on Mondays at the Rush Barn Grill in Lake Forest beginning at 6:30, Tuesdays at the Brewery in Placentia beginning at 7 o'clock, Wednesdays at Griffin's Grill in Los Alamitos beginning at 7:30, and Thursdays at the Honey Pot Meadery in Anaheim beginning at 7:30. Of course, every song you hear has something to do with the answer, and you could win up to $25 of my own money to figure out why it's like the final song for the final question. And it is my own money, so don't expect it to be easy. I was hoping you guys would not say, don't expect it to be easy or don't expect it to make sense. That was easy in, but you can't say that because you know why? Because
Why?
it does make sense at the end.
Hmm.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ozzy V. That is world famous juggler Greg Larson and Flesh Wound producer Todd. See you next week right here on Flesh Wound Farce.